I want to tell you about a Tuesday I had a few months ago. It started with me on a call with a school district in Brooklyn pitching GEMS as a pilot program. I was the CEO. By noon, I was writing Instagram captions and scheduling TikToks. I was the marketer. At 2 p.m., one of my developers flagged a bug in the app that was breaking the sign up flow for new users. I was the product manager, jumping into Supabase logs, trying to understand what broke and why. At 4 p.m., a parent DM'd me on Instagram saying her daughter couldn't log in. I personally walked her through it step by step. I was customer support. And at 11 p.m., after my daughters were in bed, I was in a spreadsheet building a 45-month financial model, trying to figure out if this company can get to an exit by 2030. That was one Tuesday. And here's the thing nobody tells you, that Tuesday was also one of the best days I've had building this company. My name is Shayna Cooper Silas. I'm a former IBM engineer and tech executive with 20 years of experience.
I spent over 2 decades in corporate tech. I built products at IBM. I led teams at American Express, where I grew a mobile and chat team from 2 people to 16, then ran a chatbot acquisition that automated 66% of travel agent conversations. I worked at Accenture building ESG SaaS for global enterprises. I know how to build, I know how to lead, I know how to scale. And then I walked away from all of it to build something I believed in more than anything I had ever been paid to build. GEMS. That is spelled G3MS. It is an AI powered learning platform for K 12 students in grades 3 through 12 and into career development for adults. More to share on that later. The mission started in Florida, where I am from, with my first school, Memorial Middle, and then took us to Brooklyn's District 16, one of the most under resourced school districts in New York. I watched kids fall behind not because they weren't smart or because teachers did not care, but because the system wasn't built to meet them where they were. I built GEMS to change that. And I am building it as a solo founder, no co founder sitting across from me, no big corporate safety net. But I want to be clear, I am not alone. I have a team of fractional C suite leaders who bring the expertise I need at the level I need it without the overhead of a full executive team. That is a very intentional strategy, and I'll do a whole video on why fractional leadership is one of the smartest moves an early stage founder can make. And I recently closed my first round of investment with AnitaB.org, an organization dedicated to advancing women in tech. I'll be sharing the full story of how that came together, what it means for GEMS, and what I learned going through that process as a solo Black woman founder. More on both of those very soon. But the point is, the foundation is real, the team is real, the investment is real, and I am still the one showing up every single day, making the decisions, driving the vision, and doing whatever the company needs. That is what solo founder actually means. So let me tell you what GEMS actually is, because this is not just another tutoring app. The core of GEMS is what we call drops. A drop is a micro learning unit, a video lesson, practice set, and assessment all in one, designed to get a student from confused to confident in under 10 minutes. Not an hour of homework, not a 45-minute lecture. 10 minutes done right that actually moves the needle. Every drop is built around a specific skill. So if your child is struggling with fractions or two-step equations or reading comprehension, there is a drop for that. Targeted, focused, no fluff. And the drops are gamified. Students earn GEM tokens for completing their work, build daily streaks, and when they hit a 15-day streak, they unlock a real gift card. Not a sticker, not a digital badge, an actual reward for showing up consistently, because that's how you build the habit of learning. Now, the platform also has an AI tutor named Ayo. Ayo works alongside the drops for students in grades 3 through 12 in both math and ELA. She doesn't just give answers, she teaches. She asks follow-up questions, adapts to where the student is, and explains things the way that particular student needs to hear them. And underneath all of it, we have RTI tiered adaptive assessments, which means GEMS meets students at tier 1, 2, or 3 based on where they actually are, not where the grade level curriculum says they should be. because a student who is 2 years behind doesn't need grade level content shoved at them. They need to start where they are and build up. That is what GEMS does. And it is live right now at getgems.com for $29 a month. That is GETG3MS.com. We're also in active B2B conversations with schools and districts for licensing. If you are an educator or administrator watching this, yes, I want to talk to you. GEMS is built for Title I and Title III schools, for students who need support that their school can't always provide, for parents who are doing everything they can to close the gap. This is the mission, and everything I do is in service of it. Let me pull back the curtain on what actually makes GEMS different, because this is the part that most edtech companies cannot replicate. GEMS is not a chatbot with a math skin on it. It is not a quiz app with an AI button bolted on. It is a living, skill-based intelligence system connected to a knowledge graph that actually understands where a student is, where they need to go, and what content will get them there. Let me break that down. Every student on GEMS has a skill profile, not a grade level, not a test score, a real-time map of what that specific child can and cannot do, skill by skill, standard by standard. We call this the student intelligence model. It is being updated constantly based on how the student performs, how long they take, where they get stuck, and how they respond after a hint. It is not a snapshot. It is a living record of that child's learning. And that skill profile lives inside a knowledge graph, a structured web of relationships that connects concepts the way learning actually works. Fractions connect to ratios. Ratios connect to proportional reasoning. Proportional reasoning connects to algebra. When a student struggles with one concept, GEMS doesn't just flag it, it traces backward through the graph to find the gap underneath the gap. And then it builds a path forward from exactly where that child is. That is not a feature you can buy off the shelf. That is something we built. Sitting on top of that skill-based intelligence and knowledge graph is a multi-model AI layer. AO runs on Claude from Anthropic because Claude reasons and teaches in a way no other model does right now. It holds a real instructional conversation with a child, one that is informed by that child's skill profile in real time, not a script, not a decision tree, an actual adaptive teaching moment personalized to that student. Content generation and the infrastructure that scales to thousands of students runs through Gemini on Google Vertex AI. And the system is orchestrated. The knowledge graph informs the AI informs the next drop, the assessment data feeds back into the skill profile, and the skill profile updates what that student sees next, right now, today, in a live product. And every single piece of it is FERPA compliant because we are serving children, and that is non-negotiable from day one. Most edtech companies slap an AI chatbot on top of a content library and call it personalized learning. GEMS is building the actual infrastructure, the skill-based intelligence model, the knowledge graph, the multi-agent orchestration, the outcome feedback loop that makes personalization real. That is the sauce, and we own it. Now, here's the part I am most excited to talk about on this channel. While I'm building all of that, the knowledge graph, the student intelligence model, the multi-agent AI infrastructure, I'm also teaching. Every single week, I run No Code Girls, a live AI and no code education platform for women entrepreneurs. And I want to be clear about what that means. I am not teaching theory. I am not teaching from a slide deck I built 2 years ago. I am teaching exactly what I am doing right now to build GEMS in real time and showing you how to apply those same tools to your own business. We build with Claude. We build with Gemini. We automate workflows. We build AI-powered products from scratch using no-code platforms. Because after 20 years in tech, the most valuable thing I can give another woman right now is not a template. It's the ability to build with AI herself, to own it, to use it as a real competitive advantage, Classes are $97 1 hour, live and interactive. You show up, you leave with something built. Everything I know is available to you. You don't need my background to start. You just need the desire to start. So, why am I doing this in public? Most founders build in private. They don't share the hard weeks. They don't talk about the bug that broke sign up for new users. They don't post about the Tuesday where they played 5 roles before dinner. They share the press release, the funding announcement, the growth milestone. I am not doing that. I'm building gems in public because I believe the journey is the content. And I believe there are parents, educators, founders, and women in tech who need to see this process, not just the result. And with love, Shayna, this channel, this space, where I show up as a whole person, as a mom, as a wife, as a founder, as someone who is figuring it out in real time. All three are connected. GEMS is the mission. No Code Girls is the method. I teach the same tools I use to build GEMS. And with love, Shayna is the story. When you follow this channel, you're going to see me win. You're going to see me struggle. You're going to see product launches and sprint planning and school partnerships and pitch prep and parenting 2 student athletes while trying to close a district deal. It's going to be real because I think you deserve real, not a highlight reel. And I am sharing every step of this on this channel. If you are a parent with a child in grades 3 through 12, especially if you're thinking about state tests right now, go to getgems.com. Try a drop tonight for free. Remember that is GETG3MS.com. We spell gems with a 3 instead of the E. If you are a woman entrepreneur who wants to learn AI and build with no-code tools, go to nocodegirls.com. I teach live every week. You do not need a technical background. You need a willingness to learn. And if you are a parent trying to figure out how to get your child into the best school possible, the How I Got My Daughters into Top Schools guide is linked in my bio. Everything I know, written down for you. Subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications, because the next video is coming and we are just getting started. I'm Shayna Cooper Silas. This is With Love, Shayna, and I'll see you next week.